So this guy single-handedly made space travel possible in our lifetime. His name is Robert Goddard, and his great imagination for space travel all began in the late 19th century. So one evening in October 1899, while the young Goddard was observing the stars from a treetop, he imagined the future where humans will travel across stars in a spaceship. After that day, he continued to think how to bring his great imagination into a reality. So years later, when Goddard became an adult, his interest in rocket science inspired him to study physics. At that time, people believed theoretically that only solid fuel can power rockets, but Goddard began to think on how to power rockets with liquid fuel. In 1919, he published a paper on how to propel rockets in space with liquid fuel, but other scientists and media houses, including New York Times, laughed at him. Despite all that they said, Goddard did not allow their opinion to affect his idea. So he began to work in isolation, hoping to accomplish greater goals. After years of conducting countless experiments, his effort finally paid off. On March 16, 1926, Goddard successfully launched the first liquid rocket in Massachusetts, United States. Upon launching, it flew 41 feet high and landed 184 feet away from the launch site. This first launch was a small step for many, but it was indeed a huge step for science. You may be thinking that the world celebrated him after this great milestone, but things didn't go the way he planned. Instead of people to celebrate him, they still doubted his creativity. So Goddard, not looking forward for any form of acknowledgement from anybody, moved to New Mexico to continue his work in peace and silence. Years passed and no one recognized his effort, but during the Second World War, the entire world saw the potential of rocket science. His popularity made so many people to recognize Goddard's genius idea. In 1969, New York Times issued an official apology to Goddard after seeing how far his work has changed the world. The American Space Agency, NASA, later used this same idea to land the first human on the lunar surface in 1969. As of today, many space agencies still rely on chemical propulsion to reach space. However, NASA and other space agencies are currently researching on other propulsion systems such as nuclear propulsion that will propel us faster in space. But no matter the propulsion system that is developed in the future, the world will never forget the great effort of Goddard in inventing the first liquid propulsion rocket. We hope to see more advanced propulsion systems change the way we explore space in the future.